It's a video, right? All right. Yes.
Ready? So you guys ready?
Yeah, sure.
3, 2, 1.
Escape to Chicago!
Vamos, Benny, coño! Let's go, Britt.
What?
Feel it now every time I leave. It hits me hard and it cuts me deep. I'm 1,000 miles from happiness.
Dickies Roadhouse.
1,000 miles from you.
I'd say on the surface, Escape is an ultra relay. It's 850 kilometers from Toronto through Detroit into Chicago. 15 runners, 2 RVs, 1 flight, nonstop.
Hey,
How you doing?
what's
You
going
take the shirt?
on? What are you giving me? All right, thanks.
Yeah!
We also added 3 community runs. 1 in Toronto for the send-off, 1 in Detroit to celebrate the midway point, and 1 in Chicago all the way to the finish line. Escape to Chicago wasn't our first rodeo. In 2019, Andrew and I created Escape to New York. It was me and Andrew saying, like, let's do something cheeky, let's do something sassy, let's do something spicy. You know, New York, let's just do it. Let's see if we can do it. But it didn't take long once we got into it to realize the potential. Very early, we started to ask ourselves, like, well, what can we do with this energy? So the Escape Squad is going to be running to Chicago in October, but leading up to that, I mean, the run, it was never really like about the run for us. Like this is what it's about. We love bringing people together to for a good cause. So all of the money for today's fundraiser is going to our 4 organizations. Also, if there's any of the organizations that we're supporting that you're interested in learning more about, visiting, volunteering, reach out to us. Because one of the things that we also do is we try not to just throw money at organizations. We care to go and meet them and find out what they do, find out what their services are, volunteer whenever we can. So it's just more than just raising money. It's about really understanding the importance of the work that these groups are doing. This is bigger than just what we can do. Who can we help? You know, giving back just became a quick shift and a focus of what we wanted to make Escape about. Our charities for Escape to Chicago were St. Felix Center, Stella's Place, the Second Chance Foundation, Cooper Robertson's Foundation, the Coleman A. Young Foundation in Detroit, and Gigi's Playhouse in Chicago.
Because people are going to be gathering around the base of the same tower, but they may not necessarily know where to go to register.
Now we're thinking, who should we involve? And the only people we can think of are people who are inspirational, people who inspire us, people who are super cool. To us, they're superheroes. So we end up creating what I believe to be an all-star team. Andre Morgan, what he does in his respective communities is unbelievable. Britt, her ability to sort of just jump in wherever she's needed in this project is so important. Chris Garcia, one of the most benevolent teddy bears I've ever met. Harold, from the first time I met Harold, his energy was something I just became addicted to. Medi's a savage. He doesn't back down from anything. Lindsay, the 504's very own, such a sweet spirit. Nacho's like the mayor of New York. I've known Momo since I had hair. Aaron is this really tall, gentle giant. And Patty is a fierce ultra runner and just a bright light. Liz was someone who was a huge part of the Chicago community as we were creating some energy around our finish line. Pedro was supposed to be a part of this thing from the beginning, and plans had to change at the end, and he wasn't able to cross the border. But he signed up to run the entire thing all the way to Windsor and take a train back. Gianna, anyone who meets her, just her sarcasm, her humor, but also she's the type of person who is right at the center and the core of what Escape is. Kofi Hughes, somebody who can do 50 yards real quick, doing this amount of kilometers was a huge challenge. I met Anoke through volunteering. When you meet him, when you see his smile, when you see how he shows up for his community, and in turn, when you see how his community shows up for him, having him as a part of this project was a no-brainer. Message Chris now.
These are the roots. This is the stuff that nobody likes to. Everybody thinks it's easy.
Takes forever.
Takes forever. Start location, end location, distance, start time, difficulty.
The people at the center of this thing, the people on the RV, they're the most important element. Those are the people that inspire me. Those are the people that inspire other people in their respective communities. And what they represent is important. And putting those people in an environment with other like-minded individuals and watching how they navigate, watching how they pivot through this thing called Escape for 3 days and 3 nights, even when they're pressed themselves, that's where the inspiration is. That's where the magic is. Rolling up to the send-off was really special. We knew that in order to get to Chicago when we wanted to be there, we needed to leave on a weekday and we needed to leave at 7 in the morning. We didn't really expect a lot of people to be able to show up and make it. And what happened next is just, man, it's just history. For real, I just want to say thank you guys. Our team is unbelievably blown away by the support and by the love that the community is showing for us. We genuinely just love bringing cool people together and trying to make an impact. Like that's all it is. It's as simple as that. So thank you guys for showing up time and time again for the stuff that we're up to. A lot of people have been training, like a lot of people out here running and doing their thing, and PBs are like super cool. Pushing yourself, finding out what your limits are. That's really important. But today, for this 10K, for this morning, consider reflecting on how beautiful it is for us to feel like we're part of something bigger than ourselves. We've spent now 2 years planning this thing, right? We were supposed to do this in 2020. Didn't happen because of the pandemic. We kept pushing, we kept doing campaigns, we kept reaching out to charities, raising money. And after almost 2 years of work, it's finally time to go. This is where our community fundraisers, this is where our send-off runs or our community runs really help to bring and widen the amount of people and the diversity of people that can actually participate and have a little piece of this adventure to take home with themselves.
Okay, are we out here? Just finished the first leg. You know, look at this. This is our Toronto welcome. Chicago, we're coming. Peace.
I can split. I was wondering why your show was still on.
It's early. That's round 1. Yeah, it's early.
Woo! Yeah.
Something like that all day.
OG. If you guys don't know, this is an OG. Yeah. Run to Montreal, run to New York. Let's go.
BJ is one of my buddies from so long. He was a part of Montreal. He had just started running when we invited him to come and do this, do Escape to New York. And he was really nervous about what that meant, because he's one of those people who was like, I'm not really a runner. And he had started a family and wasn't able to really be able to break away for Escape to Chicago. So he said he was gonna come to the send-off and just, see us off. But once he saw this thing in motion, he got hooked. He ran with Harold for the second leg, and then he ran the next leg, and then he was on the RVs, and I think he made it all the way to Oakville before he realized he had a family back home that he had to get to. And you could tell that he just was having a hard time not being a part of this project, having been such an important part of what it was from the very beginning.
I had to come out. I couldn't not, and I had to kind of jump through hoops in my head. I thought I could do it, but family obligations. Fuck, I'm gonna miss you guys. This is hard, man.
I know, because you... Why do you feel like it's hard to not be here?
Because I want to do it. Like, okay, I'm a dad. I don't get to do many things. Like, to be honest, like, there's like parks. I go to parks with my kids. I go on slides. I love it, but I mean, like, this is what I'm gonna miss. Like this, the excitement, the running. But I'm gonna miss this.
The other real special thing is that we have some OGs who had done Escape to New York running this, but we also had a lot of new people. And so for leg 4, I was able to hand off to Chris, and this is his very first leg in this project. And it's really special to see him light up, knowing that he was a part of the planning from the beginning. He was such a big part in organizing all of this and making it happen. But now this is the first instant that he gets to fall in and be on the inside of this thing. And I remember handing off to him and just seeing him pop off on his leg, and it really meant a lot to know that, like, we finally were making this thing happen. What leg this guy's gonna dip out at? I say 75.
I'm ready. I've been ready. So just warming up, waiting for Chris to run through. Let's do this.
I'll see you at some point again. I'm gonna wear like a costume in the bush on someone in like their night leg, like a burlap sack, and just like a dragon a big twig.
You guys heard it here. It's gonna happen.
I'll do it.
That would have been.
Yeah, when the kids are in bed.
Let's go!
Imagine being panned off and like all the grass goes on
Giving me all the hills, eh? All the hills.
First day excitement and having people really uncover their layers. Because some people may have a guard up when you first meet them, but quickly you see like the energy and joy and the welcomeness that the team brings. Like people are really able to put their guard down and really be open to this whole experience. A person who grounds Q and I is Britt.
Britt is a spicy, fast, she's so passionate. Once that run starts, once that first confetti cannon goes off, she is all in. She's intense. She takes her legs very seriously. She puts everything into each and every leg. And so it's important to just be aware of that sort of energy so that you don't get in the way of it.
Oh my God, I'm known, if you want to know, I'm the one that's known as the bitch on the team. I'm just going to say it. I have a tone that I can't
Does everybody
filter.
know where we're going?
Okay?
Okay, cool. So everybody's good there? You haven't left anyone behind? Britt. She's in the zone. Yeah, she's in the zone. Yo, when Britt's in the zone, like you'll see her on the MGT, and you'll be like, "Yo, Britt!" and she'll just whole face like just go right by you, and at the last second she'll be like, "Oh!" It's like, okay. I was like, "Yo, I know you."
So now we're 7 legs in, and we're just coming through Hamilton, and we're about to meet some special guests. Hamilton was special because Dre's from Hamilton. I've never seen somebody with so much drive and ideas and creativity, and he does it from such a pure place. And he actually had some support jump out of the parking lot to run a leg with him. But the other thing that was so special was right as Dre's leg came to a finish, we met Cooper and his family. While we were looking for charities to support, we stumbled across the Cooper Robertson Foundation, which aims to raise awareness and funds for tuberous sclerosis complex, or TSC. Cooper was diagnosed with TSC as a newborn, and it's a rare genetic condition that causes tumors in parts of the body, which leads to seizures. Once you meet Cooper and his family, you instantly fall in love with them. And knowing how much adversity they've been through is something that is so inspiring to us. It was extra special because a year ago we went to support his 1K run, and he did it with a walker, and he was there to show us how he could do it without a walker, and he was running up and down the hill. And to have him on the inside of this event meant a lot. It meant a lot.
You're gonna see Patty like running.
Like a truck whizzing by you.
Pedro, essentially what he did inside of Escape to Chicago is created Escape to Windsor, and he ran the legs from Toronto to Windsor as if it was its own event.
Like 15 is many?
Ready? Yeah.
Leg 10 to 11. Coming in hot.
Gianna was another one who unfortunately wasn't able to go on the entire adventure. But when we offered that option that Pedro had to go to Windsor and then circle back on the train, she was like, that might work.
Are we at least 6K?
It's pretty close, I think.
Running fucking sucks.
You got the fear of
We were supposed to have this meeting like Monday, but everybody kept coming in at different times, and the most important thing is just to like, first of all, just say thank you for like coming on this crazy adventure. This is obviously a passion project for a lot of us just to be involved in. So having you guys as a part of it is huge. But the most important thing is safety, right? So nobody wins if somebody gets hurt, and it can happen like this, boom, and then it's like the whole trip changes, the whole vibe changes. My main point is that safety is our collective responsibility. So it's not Patty's job to make sure that she has a headlamp on. It's our job to make sure that Patty has a headlamp on. It's not Nacho's job to make sure that he's putting a vest on just because it's dusk or dawn. Like, it's our job collectively, because once we get tired, once we get out there and like days go into days and goes into days, we're gonna none of us are gonna be able to balance all of the spinning plates. My biggest fear is usually less about the circumstances of the run and more about the safety of the collective. I remember for my first leg, the one that transitioned into the night, having a lot of energy around the kickoff to that leg. You're moving through the daytime and all of this energy, and you can see the environment around you. And then all of a sudden it just disappears. And all you've got is your headlamp and the light that you can see right in front of you.
Does this only share location for an hour?
Yeah, but you can like, so you'll be fine.
Sorry.
Yeah, an hour is good.
I don't think he's there. Right.
No, he like comes in, comes out.
Yeah.
Is the timing right?
Don't die! Don't die! Don't die!
Let's go!
I'll pull at the end, huh?
15.
What's that? Oh, I got it downhill on the end, but a lot of it was uphill actually. Yeah.
I'm gonna tag myself. Well, you got through the town though, right? That's the only nice.
Yeah.
Like, civilization.
It was dark for a while though. Yeah. Like, it got real sketch at one point because like there was like no shoulder.
Yeah, we saw that. We
And
were
like
gonna go back.
like no shoulder at all, and like trucks.
And we were running these legs wee hours of the morning, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. It was pitch black in the middle of cornfields. Cornfields to the left, cornfields to the right. You really couldn't see anything. It's the darkest I've ever seen any roads, really. And I remember we got a call from Medi saying, I've run 2K past what I should have, and I don't see you guys. I ran my very first ultra with Mehdi in South Africa, Comrades. And right after that, we did Run to Montreal. After that, we did Escape to New York. And so he's also on the list of people that I'll call first whenever we're doing these kinds of things. It was a leg that he wasn't gonna bring his phone on, but he did. And it's a good thing because when we looked at his location, he was 2 streets north. He wasn't on the right street, he had taken a wrong turn. And had he not had his phone, we would have been out of luck finding him.
I went 1K more on my last one, but I didn't get lost. It's just like the location was off.
Here, I'll go back.
Hop in.
What
It
side?
was an easy street to miss. We all,
Which way?
the car
Where
ended
am I
up doing
going?
the same shit. It was fucked.
Can you just want me to go here?
Yeah. He's coming the other way.
Come on this side.
Yeah.
Go this way.
He's gonna scoot back.
It's open? Get in here.
Even when we
Careful.
came, we ended up
This
on
is
this
camera.
north street. The street we need is on the south side. Somehow we ended up on that street too. So it's really weird. The
Yeah,
way
I knew it
it's
was
set up.
wrong because I'm looking down there. I'm like, there's no light for fucking ever.
When we first mapped Toronto to Chicago, it at first seemed like an easier run. You've got more than 12 people stuffed into these vehicles, and this circus is in a constant state of agitation. There's no actual downtime because we're always moving, we're always on to the next. It's run, repeat for 3 days and 3 nights. And so you needed to be able to run the leg you were in. You needed to be able to get off the RV and do whatever you needed to do in that moment. It just mattered that you went out, did the leg, and put one more chip in the hat of moving us forward.
Y'all ordered an RV!
One unique thing about this event was that the border was closed and the Canadians couldn't drive into the States. We could fly, but we couldn't drive. Okay, can we do a passport and a COVID test check right now? Like just right now, say Dre, check. I remember just before we were heading back to the airport to catch our flights to Detroit, just before we were about to say goodbye to the American contingent who were gonna carry on this adventure. And I'm looking, telling everyone, get your passports ready, and I can't find my passport. I know I had my passport. I'm sure I saw it. It's one of the first things on my list, but I cannot find it for the life of me. It was scary because I knew how small of a window we had to catch this flight. I knew that missing this flight could derail the entire trip. I think too, with Escape to New York, I realized how quickly things could just be derailed. It took an instant for me to tear my Achilles and not be able to participate in that run. It was heartbreaking to me because in my heart I knew that this trip, that this adventure had the potential to kind of make up for what happened in New York. This is the one personal thing that's like, can you imagine if I had to say bye to these guys?
Sorry, another bit of an issue. So like, I was in this car and then I found a passport.
Is it mine?
And it looks like it's this guy's.
Oh!
I found my passport.
Yes!
Yeah!
I think they stole
Did you guys steal it?
No, I knew, I was like, it's not in there. I'm like, he was in this car.
good.
It's probably in his pocket with their
Good,
And then I'm like,
good.
when I look down, right there. It was like 2 seconds.
Good.
it. You can stay, Jay.
Now he's going Jake and Sam.
Good. So now you can not stress. See? Look, he's back smiling. He's back smiling now. Good.
Yeah, you were so
Good,
nice.
yeah.
I'm good,
He was like,
I'm
yeah, he was bummed out.
I'm just tired.
You like my little scare? You like my little scare? You like my... You're like a nugget. He's FaceTiming his daughter. He's like, I gotta Uber her back to my house. I said, shit. I was like, yo, cancel everything.
Show's over. Okay? Where's the white man?
It's a good feeling because we've made it through the first night, and I know that part 2 of Escape to Chicago is about to pop off.
Okay, yo. 24 hours down. Head to the airport. Canadian team, we're out.
I remember feeling like really proud, and this weird hack that involves us taking a flight into the States while the other part of the team is doing this leg is actually gonna work. So even though this transition was a logistical nightmare, it was also a chance for us to recalibrate as a team. Yeah, some teammates coming in after running on a skeleton shift, super tired, super exhausted. Escape is starting to take a toll on them. You've got this other group that's kind of had a bit of a break, physically, but also like from a morale point of view. So as we land in Detroit, our focus now is to support the Americans when they pull up after crossing the border.
Oh, they actually had tigers everywhere.
Yep.
Right now too is getting on some kind of routine quick. So we're not chasing, like, you know how we were chasing? We can't be chasing. We gotta get in front. It should be easier with lighter loads, a little more room. We're not messing around with bags and stuff as much.
So my only suggestion, or I don't know, not a suggestion, but comment, because I'm just trying to think of like how I'm being used. Utilized, yes. That's a better word. I was like, used sounds funky. Utilized.
And there's Momo. She's so versed with her therapy. I think everybody was lined up for when they could get her hands on their legs so that she could just like work out all the kinks. But also super special to have her lace up, get out, and run legs, and genuinely be a part of what Escape was.
Hello, friends, in Canada. And we flip. Okay, flipping. Cross that. America.
Liz is a firecracker. First of all, Liz, originally she was gonna come on in a support capacity, but we knew she was running, so we knew she was gonna have to do some of these legs, and she quickly just jumped in and took on even more legs than we were anticipating, which was perfect. So we were all kind of working independently for the same thing, and Detroit was the one place where we'd be reunited before we carried on together, finally as a team, all the way to Chicago.
When you're making the routes, one of the last legs prior to the border was a 17K leg. And Patty, she just put her hand up. She's like, look, I have the legs for it. Like, she has experience for it. And she literally ran 17K and then waited to get over the border and ran another 5.
How do you feel 18K later?
I feel tired now. So that last leg in Windsor was all uphill, like gradual. And I was like, oh my God, it's getting hard. Why? And then I'm looking at the sidewalk. I'm like, I'm going up. And then I was like, of course I'm going up because the bridge is up there. I'm feeling it now. Yeah, I'm tired. I'll be good for the next leg, but.
You don't need to.
No, now I just have to back off. Yeah, we're home. We got across the border.
Detroit was not the finish line, and it wasn't the send-off. It was sort of this mid-run celebration. The fact that we had planned a community run in the middle of this event was new.
Honestly, in time of uncertainty, like, we didn't know what that Detroit 10K was gonna be like. To see the director of the Coleman & Young Foundation and to see that Detroit community really show up, we did not expect that. And to see like 20 plus people show up and run that leg with us, and to be a part and to send Kofi and Andre off, like, that was special.
Okay, so as some of y'all know, a lot of these people in the shirts we're wearing come from Canada, from Toronto exactly. So yesterday we started in Toronto. We started in Toronto at 7:30 in the morning. We kicked off a community 10K in Toronto and we kept going. Here we are in Detroit. We couldn't come by your city without showing y'all love. You know, I've been on calls with Jordan and Lance for months now. I'm happy to finally see them in person. Right? All y'all have signed up. You guys are supporting the Coleman A. Young Foundation, right? And we got an executive director right here.
Thank you all.
And what it does is it helps kids from marginalized areas succeed and not letting their environment determine their outcome. So it funds individuals and kids from these areas to go to post-secondary school and achieve their dreams, right? These people, they're based on survival, right? And Lance is an alumnus.
2006.
2006. So the money from today's 5K route can go towards a kid and funding their education. So I want to thank y'all.
Thank you.
So we have Lance who's gonna kick us off for our 5K route.
Yep.
And send us off strong.
One sec, before you do that, you guys stumbled on a bunch of crazy people that are running nonstop from Toronto all the way to Chicago, right? Well, here's the thing. We got people in Chicago waiting for us, and the next 2 legs are starting like right now.
One question, y'all ready?
Yeah!
One more time, y'all ready?
Yeah!
Let's get it.
We run Detroit! We run Detroit! We run 313!
Everybody hands in. Let's get it. For the city. 313 on 3. 1, 2, 3.
313!
Running back home. See you soon, Chicago.
What's going on here? I know these people.
Yeah, what's
What's up?
Kofi Hughes. I can't say enough how inspiring it was, not just for me, but for everyone else to watch him take on something so ambitious for which he had really no backing for in terms of familiarity.
What? Easier or harder? You thought?
No, I feel great right now. I was talking to him about, like, I'm not a runner, but I'm a sports performance coach and I study human performance. And so I was telling him, like, my thing is, this is all mental. You know what I'm saying? Time on legs is mental. It becomes more physical when you're like uncontrolled with your running. So like, I told him I nasal breathe the whole time that I've been training for this race. I've never opened my mouth on a run because if I can't breathe through my nose, I'm running too fast. And so that keeps me at my heart rate like at 150, 155, and like, well, I can stand on these legs. I'm mentally crazy. I want to keep going, but it's when I try to like, too much. If I go too fast, bro, things start to cramp, things start to hurt, I start expending too much energy, and that's when like, I don't know if I'm prepared for that. When they get to that place, that's where it's like, oh shoot.
Yes.
Nacho.
Anok. Yeah. I've been singing that song tonight.
Yeah, you got it in my head.
He just sung it too. Nacho Man. He's singing
Nacho is like the mayor of New York. Thing about Nacho is he had literally messaged me saying, if I can be a part of this project again, I'm going to be coming from London. I'm going to run the London Marathon on Sunday. I'm going to come to Toronto on Monday. I'm going to run Escape to Chicago with you guys. I can't stay for the marathon though because I've got to be back in New York for a wedding. And he's that kind of dude.
How do your legs feel?
CSC, getting better. Yeah. Still uncomfortable.
How many legs did you do when we were gone?
2.
Or 2?
Yeah, I mean, it's still unpleasant, like kind of uncomfortable, but I mean, I can run, you know? The first day was literally pain, so.
No, tell me how you're feeling, dog.
Yo, I'm feeling good. You know, just finished the Detroit 5K. Kobe just got his first leg in. Got that sodium ready to go.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, we back on track. Bread and nacho coming in hot, you know? Feelings are down. 24 hours, they're like, damn, there are troubles at the border. Canadians are feeling burnt out. But you know what I'm here for? I'm here to pump up the noise. So you can hear me every leg for the next 12 hours, screaming my lungs out for no goddamn reason. Q, you ready?
Yo, when you born ready.
Are you ready?
You wake up ready, you ain't got to get ready.
Okay. I see
Kitchen music.
Yo, it's gonna be good. Okay, yo, here we got Helen from Chicago. Okay, are you born and raised in Chicago?
Born and raised.
Born and raised in Chicago. Size 14 feet. They call them Bigfoot for a reason.
Lemon pepper steppers is what they call them.
Aaron is one of those dudes who leads from behind. He's one of the leaders of the 7 on Sundays run crew. And while they've done so much to change the narrative of the south side of Chicago through running, this is the first time he's ever stepped into anything like this. At this point, we've got 2 RVs now and 2 support vehicles. The crew is split into 2 teams. I mean, we're all one crew running to Chicago together, but with these 2 RVs, you've now got a bit of separation. You've got a bit of, energy split. And this is the second night. So the vibe is starting to change really quickly. People are starting to shut down. And I've known this to be true for these types of events. Night 2 is the one that gets you. I mean, one thing that wasn't lost on us was the fact that we were starting to run through places in the States that were not just unfamiliar, but unsafe from a racial point of view. And so Dre handed off to Aaron around 1:30 in the morning. It was pitch black. The trucks were flying along this 1-lane highway. And it was dark and it was really hilly. And it was tough because it was 2 days into this adventure, and the cheers were starting to die down. Chris and I were at the RV waiting for Aaron, and I remember a text message came in that just said, "Check for me." And Chris and I looked at each other right away. It was from Aaron, and we were like, well, what does that mean? Is he okay? Panic set in because, again, we're late in this run, and we also knew that we were in an area of the States that didn't feel comfortable and welcoming to a lot of our runners. Chris and I, right away, we grabbed the support vehicle and we raced back to go find Aaron. You could just see that he was worn, he was scared, he was disheveled. And so we were prepared to go and get another runner and bring him in. But Aaron was like, no, he's like, I got this. And then it felt good to say, hey, the RVs are just at the bottom of this hill. We'll see you down there. And then let him finish it and finish that really impactful leg and have us there waiting for him to bring him in.
All right, big man.
This adventure, this 3 days and 3 nights, its mission is to set out with these really dope people and push them all individually. That is the point. That's the purpose. The purpose is to take you to that place, whatever that is for you, where you feel like you're at your rock bottom, And then navigating through it happens with you and your team.
We were going through like some very like sketchy parts, and like all I could think about was like get out. All I could think about was get out.
When you guys are sprinting.
I was like, yo, you are going too fast, but you also want to hurry up and get this shit the fuck over with.
The next morning comes and we're in full throttle. It became like clockwork. Like we were vibing, we were cheering each other on, the vibes were high, and like you could see things starting to build.
From the first time I met Harold, it's unbelievable how much energy and focus he puts into things, and he does it like it's nothing. And I don't know that there are two spices that you could mix together that could cause that much sweat. Lindsay, I could tell that she was nervous when we reached out to her about being a part of the project. Even through her nervousness and apprehension, she felt completely in.
That last night, we were ready. Seeing all the things that went wrong and unfolded the night before, we knew what we needed to do, and it fully prepared us heading into Chicago.
Yeah.
It's all like just accumulating in my body. It's okay. A few more legs. We're almost there.
All right, back on the good, back in the good van.
1, 2, 3, good man.
Good man.
I remember leg 76. At this point, I knew we had gotten through the hardest parts. We had finished our last of the night legs. The energy was starting to shift, and we could taste the finish line. Can you hear me?
Everybody can hear you. Yeah.
Working backwards. Who's transitioning? Is Liz doing the handoff or Lindsay?
I already did it. She's here.
No, okay. So Lindsay's doing the last handoff to a note. Okay.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. It's go time now, right? It's show time and go time. So first and foremost, when she comes through, let's bring through the Chicago energy that we already know from here on out. I know it was a crazy night for everybody, but starting now, this is like escape to Chicago energy. You feel me? So when she comes in, she should pee herself a little bit. You feel me?
Just a little bit.
Okay, so here's the thing. We're working backwards from the finish line 10K. This is our community that's come out. This whole escape is not about runners. This isn't a speed project. This isn't nothing to short other runs, but this was about community, and that's why it was so freaking complicated to organize, because we care about Detroit, we care about Toronto, we care about Chicago. So we've got a lot of people in Chicago that have come out to see us. They want to see us. They want to be a part of this, and we want to share it. So, Aaron, that last 10K is you, baby.
That last morning, you could feel it. Like the energy was building. Everyone was amped.
You know what that means. So you guys cool with that? With
Word
the
up,
energy,
word
please?
up, word up, word up.
Let's get it. Let's get it. pulling into Chicago, and the sun was shining. You could feel the heat and you could feel the vibes. The streets were full of people running up and down, like walking out on the streets. We're high-fiving people. Like, the vibes were high, and it was just the most gorgeous day. There wasn't a cloud in the sky.
So, in a minute, the rest of the team finishing up a leg is about to come through for our final leg to the bean. Cheer really, really, really loud for these guys because they kept me safe through this whole run. They also kept me sane. There are a lot of moments where I just wanted to cry. It's an incredible journey. They kept me grounded, and also they ran it as well. A lot of them have a lot of miles on their legs. They're really tired, and your energy is gonna help them get through this run.
So you spend over a year planning this, and you're actually executing the whole thing perfectly. The only thing I could not predict that completely was out of script was the finish line. The rain came down. It came down hard, and the crew scattered. And yet that last leg was it was a complete mystery. But it was perfect. It was coming down, and we knew that our team was slowly arriving at the finish line, and we were calling just to make sure that everyone was accounted for, that we knew where everyone was, because anyone who was missing, Anoke and I were gonna go out and find them in the rain. And I remember getting that last message that Aaron had made it in with his crew, and that was the last of our squad. And so Anoke and I looked at each other and were like, everyone's there. And we just turned around. I say we had 300 meters left. And I remember just the sense of pride of knowing that all of our people made it. Everyone was safe. Everyone was probably wet and cold, but they had made it, and they were already experiencing what this was. It was all of the hard work, all of the dedication, all the perseverance. It was a tough year. We decided at some point that this was important and that we needed to keep pushing. And this was a point when that decision was validated for us. It felt extra special to be able to come in at the end of that and just sort of wrap a bow on it all.
We're waiting down there, okay? Like, where do you want to go?
We gotta go. He like was on. He's like, I know how to get you. I don't remember the route right now, but I know how to get you.
It was perfect because it speaks to just that. You can plan things to the 9th degree, but things need to be the way they need to be. We made it.
So I asked you this question in the beginning. What does the word escape mean to you? Now after Escape to Chicago is done.
Ooh.
Now what is it?
Man. Escape means family. There's something you can't really explain. The bond and the connection that comes from this type of event. 3 days and 3 nights, non-stop. All of the adversity, all the challenges, all the issues that you solve together, it's all at the heart of what escape is. Like, it's the exact thing that makes it so that these people will be family forever. What started out as the perfect day ended up in a torrential downpour. But it didn't matter. Because after 3 days and 3 nights, 850 kilometers, this community, this family, we escaped to Chicago.
The content crew has just wanted to say congratulations to everybody here.
Yeah.
You guys have done amazing the last few legs. As a gift, you guys can turn around and this is from us to you.
Oh, they're really hot. I'm saying you're on theme right now. You're on red.
You're on red. You're on Let's go. Yes. Dude, that's what that.
Yeah, we got to just run from Toronto to Chicago. That's pretty amazing, and raised money for charity and got to meet new folks who now I'll be friends with for the rest of my life. So, I mean,
You like Canada?
I love Canada. I'm trying to get here. I am trying.
But like the power of like just being here and like building community and like the reasons why we're doing it, like it's not selfish at all.
I think this whole escape thing is evolving and it's changing, and it's not about running, it's more about what you can do to help others and your community.
It's fine. No one disagreed with me.
Done. We're good.
Even Jason was like, he just confirmed it. He goes,
Great, we're good.
"True."
Too many people talk. I got you. I was listening.
Thank you.
Take it up! Take it up! Take it up! Take it up!
Okay, what do you got to say to everybody watching back home?
This is an awesome adventure. It's super epic. I want to keep doing this.
Let's go!
Woo! All the way to Chicago.
I mean, it's just the experience, right? Like, it's gritty, it's awful, but it's like the best kind of awful. The kind of awful that like you can't stop talking about.
Cause I keep on thinking the temperatures are gonna drop and shit's gonna get wet like it did in New York. But we're getting blessed here. We got one more night left, one more day. Like, fuck, this is money. Everybody at least has enough dry clothes now to get them through to the end, so it's all a win. Unless it starts raining like in the next 10 minutes.
No, we escaped the entire fucking time without fucking bad rain, only to walk and sit in the rain.
I got a leg with a lot of rain.
You don't know how fast you can run until you're scared for your life. So.